Vince and I watched the trailer that just came out today for Cinderella. I guess there was a teaser trailer a while back that I either didn't see or I did and wasn't... oh, no, I did see that, because it was basically just a shoe, and then you're like, oh, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Right? That's what that was. Yeah.
That's what that is.
Now we have
I'm good at pointing out objects.
Now we have a new trailer for this, and I'm mostly bringing this up because, and I should, full disclosure, I don't know why they're making this. Well, I do know why they're making this, but this is one of those things where it kind of feels superfluous. It kind of feels like the same thing all over again. As I always say, I've not seen the movie yet, so I could be wrong. There could be something more to it, and bringing something else to the table and kind of worth making, maybe. I don't know. But I kind of feel like I just watched the movie.
Yeah, it's a very thorough trailer, which is not necessarily a good thing. And, the thing that I was watching, Cap just showed me this before we started. He said, let's see if you have the same thought that I did. I was like, well, if you didn't know, not that you wouldn't, but if you didn't know what happened in Cinderella, by God, you know now.
Yeah, you know it now. It wouldn't even be like, you watch it and you go, well, wow, that looks really involved. There's all these things. No, you know the story now. Yeah. This is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer of Disney trailers.
You look at this trailer and, when you make a trailer, or excuse me, let me rephrase that. When you make a movie that's a remake of things that you've made before, you should have something left vague in the trailer, right? Trying to entice people to come see the movie, because it feels to me like what they did was they said, let's make a Cinderella movie that has no music in it, there's no singing, so we could just have...
Yeah, there's probably a score.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's not a... Let's make a Cinderella movie that's not a musical and that's live action, right? People dig that.
Yeah.
Well, sure, maybe, but you know what? You guys showed every special effect you're likely to show.
Your major special. That's a really good point. But I do think that the trailer is indicative of the reason they're making these movies now. And I'm going to take Maleficent out of this because that was kind of a reimagining of that. And I thought Maleficent was not a bad idea. I didn't ultimately like that movie at all. I had huge problems with it. But I thought, and part of it was I was excited about that movie. I thought it looked awesome, and then they kind of took her teeth away, and they made it all a big misunderstanding.
I was busy destroying a fairy tale world, so...
Oh, is that what was happening? Okay. But all I'm saying is I thought that there was actually maybe a room to do something like that. This seems like it exists for the same thing I want to complain about it existing for, which is... Hey, everybody, let's go experience this again. Yeah. I'm like, well, why not just re-release it? Vince, do you think some of this is that thing that we're always complaining about where, things in live action are automatically more valid?
I really think that people think, well, it's worth doing if it's live action. Well,
I don't even
sometimes
mean that...
in animated movies... the thing you should do.
Yeah, with this, it might not even be so much that somehow this will be more valid than the animated movie, because we've done these things before, live action Jungle Book, live action 101 Dalmatians. Those are not considered classics. They happened, and I didn't see the Jungle Book one. The 101 Dalmatians was okay, but I mean, they made money. I think at least 101 Dalmatians did, because it got a sequel and because Glenn Close was in it. But they like people saw it, people maybe kind of remember it, but it's not a classic like that is. So I don't think that there's any precedence for saying that these things are going to come out and trump the original and we'll forget the classics, and so that makes it bad to make them. I'm just saying it seems kind of superfluous. It seems a little bit pointless. It's kind of like remaking Psycho frame for frame. What's the point?
Why spend so much money on something that's going to become white noise? And I guess
because it's going to make them money. I mean, ultimately people will go see that, and they'll see it for the reason that they're saying go see this, which is come experience this again. Cinderella's this big classic. Isn't it fun to get to see it in live action? My point is, they made the trailer like that to try to let people know it's the same story. You're not there to experience a new story. You're there to experience the old story again, and I'm just saying, I think it's kind of pointless, and yet I know they're going to make a lot of money with it.
I will say that Kate Blanchett, every time I see her face, I'm like, is that what her name is? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think so. But
I love Kate Blanchett.
I like her too. I just have difficulty remembering her name every time. It's I'm not going to say that joke. Anyway, moving on. I was going to say, it's like talking to my mother-in-law, but she's really, really sweet, and I love my mother-in-law. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, anyway.
You know
what is your point about Cate Blanchett?
My point about Cate Blanchett is she looks like she's going to do well. I mean, regardless of whether or not the role is worth playing for an actress of her caliber, she has these crazy eyes, and she looks a lot like that demonic version of a stepmother.
Well, I think, you can entice major actors and actresses to play these roles because they are classic roles, and because it'll be fun to get to play them, maybe even regardless of how good the script is. Because I'm telling you, Angelina Jolie was right for Maleficent, but there was nothing in that script.
Sometimes you put a big name, a big brand on something, and people say, I want to go be a part of that, good or bad.
Yeah.
And that seems kind of ridiculous.
Maybe they just trust it. I don't know. Well, but they probably get a script. I don't know.
They're like, don't read this until the day of. Okay.
So I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of pointless, and I wish they would put their money in new things, because Disney is really good right now. That's the thing, is that they're making these remakes and they're going back to the well, but then with their animation, they're making up new stuff, and they're going to source material nobody's ever heard of, and they're starting to make movies that are as good as Pixar movies.
Well, maybe they're using the money they make off of these white noise movies to fund the cool stuff that they're trying to make.
The other trailer that we saw today was the new full trailer for Peanuts, and again, there was a teaser trailer for that, although it was more than just a shoe, I think.
And you know me, I love Peanuts, and, specifically with raisins.
Yeah, the sequel to that will be called Circus Peanuts. But so the Peanuts trailer, the Peanuts trailer, I think looks really good. They put it. I want to say that's Christmas of next year. That they put it like a full year out. By the way, Cinderella strikes me as that ought to have been a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird that they're saving that off a few months.
Sparkly and such. Why not?
You're saying it should be a Christmas movie because there's sparkles
in it. That's right.
Oh, all right. Anyway.
I guess by that logic, it'd be more likely to be a January.
Peanuts, it seems like what they did was they said, let's get people excited about this now while they're thinking about Christmas, because Peanuts and Christmas have always kind of gone together. And, of course, they did the whole Christmas lights thing in the trailer, so they want to make you think about that kind of imagery. And then once we roll back around to Christmas next year, we'll have had a full year to go, oh, when does that Peanuts thing come out that made me think about, that I was thinking about, Christmas when I saw that. It is 3D animation, and it's computer animation, and I think it looks great. I usually kind of scoff at that a little bit with properties like that. Going back to older properties, they're doing it with Popeye, and that animation looks kind of good too. Like I think that it's kind of neat to see these houses finding a way to be faithful to the original material, to be reverential toward it, and still do kind of this modern update thing with it. And I don't like update for the sake of update, but this looks classy, right?
It looks pretty good. It's it adds a little bit of depth to what you saw beforehand, stuff from when you were a kid, or however old you are. But the thing that really bugs me about not necessarily this movie, but about Peanuts movies, is that there's a distinct period of time where the Peanuts movies are good, and I see this trailer and I think, well, sure, it could be good. I don't know, I haven't seen it, but everything that has come out from like the 80s up until now has been really awful, and they've released small movies, and they're not all like these big budget things. They're all straight to video, and they're all kind of crap, and so I see something that they're taking their time on. They're going to release it in theaters, and that makes me hopeful, but it doesn't make me I don't have faith in it.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
And I don't have any issue with the CG thing, because really, at least it's not a live action movie where they're trying to use kids that can't act and a dog that is an actual dog, or a dog that looks so cartoony next to actual people.
Well, the thing I'm really impressed with is just that they're... And sometimes I kind of let this get in the way where I'm more impressed with advertising than I am with the thing I'm looking at. But it seems like they're doing what they need to do to get people excited about it and to get it in the public eye, because Disney tried this with Winnie the Pooh, and I saw that movie a couple years ago. They did what they were trying to make a more faithful Winnie the Pooh movie. It was like, let's go back to what it used to be and do it right. And there were a couple of kind of, like, they tried to be authentic but it didn't quite work things in that movie. Overall, though, they got really close. I don't know if you saw it.
I saw it.
I thought it was pretty cool, but No advertising. Nobody knew about it. Nobody went and saw it. And this movie strikes me as the same thing, except that they've got the advertising backing behind it, which is weird because it's Blue Sky, not Disney. What I think is really interesting about it is that, again, they're doing the same thing that Winnie the Pooh was, in that they're trying to say, look, we're doing it right. We're going back to what it used to be and making it what it's supposed to be, and not just in giving you this kind of short sketch that looks a lot like early Peanuts, but also in just making a big deal out of the name Schultz. I think that is, for lack of a better term, kind of ballsy.
Yeah.
That is potentially a bad risk if it doesn't work, right? Because you get to the end of the trailer and the title of the film is Peanuts, and then under it says by Schultz. That better be awesome. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because I mean, they're of course doing that because
setting a precedence.
They're saying that it's going to be what you got with Charles Schultz.
Fair enough. And
you see what I'm saying?
It hasn't really been good with that.
Good luck. Is all like it better be great, because I think that is quite a bold statement.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see where it goes.
Oh yeah, sure.
I like the
because that Winnie the Pooh movie. If you put I forget his name. Is it Baum? No,
I forget. I'm not sure I ever knew.
If you put his name next to that movie, as close as I thought they got, I wouldn't have accepted that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And I don't know if I'll accept it with this either. That's all I'm saying.